Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
Let me do it.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not going to say legends.
Okay.
Welcome back, fans of the show. You're sitting here with me, Matt Burton. Body Madge is in Europe. Doesn't care about you. Doesn't matter. Stop laughing, whoever's on the couch over there. Welcome back to another episode of FatChat. We're sitting here in the studio. Madge is with me. He hasn't gone to Europe yet.
That was not bad for your first time. It's going to need some reps. We're going to need some reps, but I might give you every
you know what?
second.
I'm going to intro it with "Welcome back, bloody legends."
Yep.
I dislike being referred to as legend.
Legend.
So I hate it.
Really?
Absolutely hate it.
That's what I love. I use that
I can't
all the
stand
time.
it. I cannot stand it.
Well, guess
it's my
what? Your name is
demographic.
in my phone now.
So everybody,
Legend.
you're not legends. No, you don't have to be.
Okay, can I call you champ then?
No.
Because you're technically the champ.
No. I feel like they're all actually quite derogatory, degrading. Yeah.
I mean that in the most like you're a legend, man. Like that's what I mean that by.
No, you don't. You just.
I do.
You're speaking down to me, and I condescending. I feel they're quite condescending.
Well,
So
what
if
can
I
call
knew,
you then? What
to
can I
all
call
our
you?
listeners, if I knew your names, I would just say, "Good morning, George. Good
There's
morning,
a lot of listeners,
Tom."
though. We'd be here all day. It'd be a whole
Going through my
topic
family here.
Anyway, we'll give you a couple more tries of the intro stuff. But
thanks.
everyone, welcome back to FatChat.
Welcome back.
Good to have you in. Hey, Matt, we've also got some more stuff being sent in by the FatChat listeners, which is so good. Keep
Slow
them
it down.
coming.
Ooh,
I love it.
it's too much for us
Too
to keep
much,
up
I know.
with.
Two in 2 weeks. Keep sending them on in. If you're doing anything, if you're listening to the show, you like any of the stuff. If you're hating anything, the stuff that Matt's saying in particular, make sure you send it on
If
in.
you want
My stuff, not so
do you want
much,
us to
but-
try anything?
Yeah, let us know. We've got this one in from Jasmine. So Jasmine says, let me start that again.
Start again.
Hey guys, love the pod. Don't know if you've covered this one yet, and I've missed it, but how did you both start your fitness journey?
Well, please go back into episode 3 and re-listen. We're not going through it again.
That's it.
One and done.
No, we'll touch base.
Yeah,
we'll touch
go
base.
into it.
Oh, and she also said, can't wait for this week's ep, and congratulations, Matt, on the Ironman.
Lovely.
win.
Thank you very much.
We love that.
Keep them coming in.
Yep,
we
absolutely.
love that.
Yep, so many of them. So how did you start your fitness journey? Like I'm talking
Yep,
like even
way
not,
back.
Not talking triathlon stuff. I'm talking like first, like in the gym because you used to go to the gym.
I did. Yeah, that was where
football
so I guess it's the personal journey started. But
Yeah.
I played local level footy and cricket through school, and then out of school I started. Majority of young guys, I would say, you get to a point you either choose computer games,
Yep.
or fitness.
Yep.
And you want to either look better.
Was it computer games at
Aesthetics.
what was it like Asteroid on the computer? What
Nah, I
was it
was just more like what were we playing? Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
That was a big one.
Snakes on your
PS1.
phone? Would've been
Yeah, a little
Snake on your
bit. That
phone.
was
Yeah.
phones were just coming in
Yep,
to trend.
yep.
Nokia 3310 and stuff. So that's very funny from you, isn't it?
You're old.
Know my way around an iPhone now. But then I got into the gym. I guess I wasn't very. I took a while to blossom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always
How old were you when you were in the gym?
18.
18.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's like essentially straight out of high school is when I guess started to build a bit of a passion. And as soon as you get somebody make a comment as to,
Oh, you look
"Gee, you look a bit stronger," I actually I was still playing cricket, and I just started to. My dad actually made a few comments about how I was moving better, and then I was like, "Yeah, I do feel like I am." Right, so then I was playing footy at Colts level, getting quite strong, and then you get some of your teammates start to make comments, and then I was like, oh well, then I just got obsessed with the gym because it was having the impact, the desired impact.
The result. Yeah,
and I was starting to feel it too.
And up here.
Yeah. So it was all gym focused for me, but I enjoyed the concept of being fit as well as strong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the City to Surf one year, I just decided to do that. That's back then was when there was like 50,000 at the City to Surf. It was really the
big
only
event. Yeah,
it was
I
the only
remember.
community fun run. So that was sort of my start to the, I guess, endurance. But before that, it was I was 18 and just lifting weights with no idea, but I would try and always do it correctly with form and.
Yep.
If you do things properly, you tend to get a better result than if you don't sort of focus on form and how it might look. You tend to just cheat yourself.
And then like when you're reflecting back on that and you're like, oh wow, like, you know, because you're a professional Ironman now, you've had all these amazing things that you've been able to do in your career. Do you kind of think, oh wow, what a moment that like the decisions that you were making with going to the gym at that point has affected you now? Do you ever look back like that or not really?
So CrossFit, I guess, wasn't a thing then. And I was at a point in the gym where I was like, well, I'm strong and I'm enjoying it, but do you go down the like lifting way or but had their CrossFit been
a thing,
I probably would have just gone to there and then never
got out of that.
No,
yeah, because I could see you getting obsessed with that.
That's and
like
that
with that competition side.
Absolutely,
of stuff as well.
you know, and that explosive nature of it. And then I just had a mate at the right time. You know, I probably owe her more thanks than word like speaking on here, but it bought me an entry to a triathlon. And that's when I was at that point like, oh, where do you find the greatest fitness demand and all this sort of stuff? And I just remember like, gee, that was a pivot. That was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like that's picking yourself up between discipline to discipline and transitioning and
hard.
I didn't think I would go to this level, you know, where, you know, at the moment I'm probably the highest ranked endurance triathlete in the country. And it's like, I'm still just a bloke from Swanview who was working out at Swan Park, right? And that's what you come home to, so you still remember it. But I don't know. It's everyone starts somewhere, and it's amazing the way different things will shape your journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what about you, mate? You were a scrawny.
Mine was
15-year-old.
Yeah, pretty well.
Couldn't pick up a 6 kg dumbbell.
Yeah, pretty much, and then just lifted one weight one day. Nah, not at all.
And
bang. Well, there's a funny story to that. So, I always played sport. I was never that good at sport because I reckon as a kid I was quite like an anxious kid.
Right.
So like, when you're playing sport, you just prefer to, it's all right, let the other guys. So I wasn't ever that good, right?
Yep.
But then I got to all the way through school, sort of found it a little bit hard to fit in or whatever, and then got to high school and that was like, really, I don't know, highlight or amplify. I don't know. Like it was more of a thing in high school, like as you're, getting older and going through, teenage years or whatever, you feel that. So sort of getting picked on a little bit. And then I was always working out with dad at home because dad's big into the gym. Like he just, he's out there lifting weights.
Good influence, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like he loves it. He's so into it. So I was always doing little things with him, growing up. But then, I was about sort of 15 and then I thought, okay, cool. I'm going to start lifting some weights. And it's actually my housemate that I'm living with now, Joel. So he was doing bodybuilding at the time.
Right.
And I was looking at him and he was my, older friend. I was like, oh my God, look at Joel. He's like rigged. Like that would be great. So that was sort of my first like, oh yeah, like I want to look like Joel. He loved me saying this, by the way. But
yeah, Joel, we love you, Joel.
Yeah. I'm living in his house now. Yeah, so good. Loved him that much.
Going into his drawers still,
and I was sort of getting real rough time at school, getting picked on, whatever. And then I was using like the gym stuff as like a real outlet for like the bad day at school. So I'd be going in, I'd sneak into the Jets down the road from me in Canterbury. I'd ride my bike because you can't get a gym membership until you're 16. So I wait for someone to go in, wait for the staff to go home at 5. So 5:05 was the time.
Yeah, and then worked it out. You'd worked it out.
And then slip it straight in. Perfect. They didn't have like cameras and stuff at the time. And then I started doing that as like the outlet for the day. And then, I was going every day. So all of a sudden, when you get that big surge of testosterone as a teenage boy, everything just hit. And that was in between year 11 and year 12 summer holidays. So you had, 8 or 10 weeks off or whatever. And I was in the gym and all of a sudden I got this, I had the growth spurt, filled out, I probably put on like, 8-9 kilos or something, like just went massive all of a sudden. I was doing all the things in the diet. I was already doing all the things and it just happened. And then I came back and I put my school uniform on, the summer uniform, which is like the khaki sleeves at Corpus Christi down like this. And I could not even get like the buttons were like this. No, it was. Yeah, it was. And I'm like, fucking yes. And I was like, wow.
You left it on, didn't you? You wore that all year.
It's the only uniform I had. Went to school and everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened here?
Drugs.
Yeah, like what happened here? And then from that day, all the guys that used to give me all this shit never fucking said a word because I was bigger than them now. I was like, I'm going to fuck you guys up. Like the motivation.
Have to go near him. You just went and flexed in their face.
Yeah. Like honestly, the motivation was like,
pin arms.
You want to fucking fuck with me? I'm going to get so big, you're not going to fuck with me. And that's literally what ended up happening. And then I like, that obviously and I actually think about it quite a bit, but if that stuff didn't happen, like that that was so hard all those few years, right? That sucked so bad. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't do any of the stuff right now. You know what I mean? Like how that spins me out a lot of the time.
Well, the path you take yourself on is it's important to look back at it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's wild, right?
Yeah, it's so
the way,
crazy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, for me, I've been out of this sport now. Like, I've gone to step out 4 or 5 times, and now I've just achieved something that I never thought possible. So, yeah, and it's hard because I've watched footage of athletes or Olympics, right? It's Olympic year. It's a buzz now.
Yeah,
but everyone just thinks you're just super gifted.
Yeah,
right? Oh, I couldn't have done that anyway. That's a load of shit, right? Because I was useless. It's not even. I'm not trying to make everybody turn into being an athlete, but
you weren't like one of these ones that was like getting selected for all the teams.
No, I couldn't run out of sight on a dark night.
Yeah,
right. Endurance wasn't my thing at all. Like not even at school. Yeah, even my dad. I reckon it would still shock him that here I am running marathons off the bike at this time, and they see the big work I put in, but that's what was been required. Like I haven't been able to skip that. Right, there's no skipping any day, so it's like, yeah. But I would watch these clips like, it's been such a battle, and it's true. It's for most people, someone that's achieving something at a high level, or not even at a high level, if they just have been able to find a niche and reach it, it's like it's taken so long. Yeah. Right.
You only see the tip.
Yeah, that's it. People only, the Northern Hemisphere have only seen my name for the first time now.
Yeah.
Whereas there's like, it's so important that whatever your journey you're going on, whether it be in sport or whatever in life, you need to be motivated personally.
Yep.
Right. You can't just pull on the external motivations of, I need to post that to social media, or I need to do it for this person, or it's good to support other things, but in order to get through all the lone time, you need to do it. It's got to be personal.
Like it really has to be. And like literally, I remember being at the gym. All I could think about at the gym for I reckon 2 years was this one fucking guy at school. Yeah, that's all I could think. Like that's all I would think about as I'm lifting weights, just this one guy.
Yeah,
and then the most crazy full circle universal moment, right? This was probably 12 months ago. It was just after the Ironman. Just finished the Ironman, and I got a message from like if I think of the that time at school, that's this guy, right?
Right.
I get a message from this guy, and he's like, "Hey man, like amazing stuff. I've been following all the stuff. Super inspiring, blah blah blah, and I'm really sorry for all the stuff that I did." And I was like, what the fuck? Like that was like, oh my God. And for a day or two, all them things came rushing back to me. Yeah. Like they just sort of compartmentalized and put behind you. But I was like, whoa, like that was fucking hectic.
What's lovely there is he's grown up too.
Yeah.
And that's maturity.
That was a message that I never, ever, ever thought I was going to get.
Yeah.
And that was amazing for so many different reasons, and that's like that's a big pivotal point for me. So like to get to that point, reflecting on back what you didn't have to do that. Like,
not at all.
No, that was awesome.
It's amazing what a message can do sometimes.
Yeah,
or just like actually speaking to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, everyone's on a different journey, right? But how you get to where you need to go is up to you.
And who knows where it's going to take you. And it just starts with sometimes going for a run, going to the gym.
Get moving.
Listening to FatChat. Who knows?
Every week. Do it.
Make sure you subscribe, like, and rate the podcast as well, everybody.
Or I'll keep doing the intros.
Thank you, Jasmine, for sending that in. We really appreciate it.
Hey guys, Dan from BackChat here. While Gerard's mum is a real doctor, this segment is for entertainment purposes only. For specific medical conditions, make sure you seek the advice of your own doctor.
Dr. Majic, welcome back for another episode.
Thank you very much.
We've got some questions here today. This one here I'm very interested to know your thoughts about. Does having sex the night before a sports game reduce your performance?
Well, it probably doesn't. But the performance for men in particular, I suppose you're talking about men.
Yeah.
Or are you? Yeah. It doesn't really reduce your testosterone levels having sex because testosterone's produced fairly constantly. But certainly, if you're up late at night, if you had a few drinks and you have sex, yes, that's going to affect your performance.
Yeah, true. So it's more like the sleep and you're actually tired from it rather than like an actual physical hormonal thing.
That's right.
Right. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, because like people are like, nah, not going to do that. Not going to do that before the game. I'm going to be all uptight and all.
Well, maybe
aggro.
for some people, if they feel that that gives them, that takes away energy, then sure. But certainly physiologically, it shouldn't really make any difference. Yeah.
Interesting. Next one, I get an itchy eyelid. Why does this happen? I get that sometimes, like a little twitch.
Oh, a twitch in your eye,
like
or
a twitch.
An itchy eyelid?
A twitch. Sorry, I meant twitch.
Oh, okay, a twitch. Whether you're just getting what they call a hemifacial spasm, just the nerves, the muscles around the eye, are full of nerves, and they can get. And if you're fatigued in particular, you can start to get a little twitch. And some people need to go and actually get Botox injections by a neurologist to actually
stop that,
to settle it if it's constant. But if it's just occasional, it is just about
normal, for being tired or whatever.
Just from being tired, quite common. Yeah.
And last one, I went to the doctor the other day, and according to BMI, I am overweight. I'm a little bit curvy, but I wouldn't say I'm overweight. Is BMI accurate?
Well, BMI is just one measure of your weight or your
because it gives it like a score out of it goes up to like 40 or something, right? Or does it keep going?
Well, it can keep going. It's to do with your height and your weight relative to your height. But of course, your weights are a bit different. Some people have a lot of muscle mass and therefore they're going to weigh more. Some people, even if they're very slim, have a very low muscle mass. So no, it's accurate in terms of BMI, but it's not accurate in terms of telling you if you are overweight. So, if you're under, they say BMI, if you're under 25 is what we're aiming for. Most people,
but people with a higher muscle,
are going to have a BMI sort of maybe 28 or 29.
Yeah.
Weightlifters, if they're big muscle guys, are going to have BMIs well above 30. But in the main, if you're a sort of middle-aged person, if your BMI is under 30, I think you're doing all right. And if you're a young person, try to keep it under 27.
I think I read that it was like over populations, it's quite accurate, but maybe for an individual, like you said, like there's anomalies to it that's like, well, you're not overweight, obviously, because you've got more muscle than...
Exactly. It depends if you do weight training and if you're just a kind of couch potato in the end.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if anybody's got any other questions, please flick us through for Dr. Majic to answer of any of the social channels, FatChat or at Body Majic. But Mum, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much, Gerard.
Quick little break here, guys. It's Matt and Gerard here from FatChat.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, it would mean the world to us if you could follow, like, or subscribe to any of our channels on any of the platforms that you're listening to, because it just goes a long way into growing the pod, getting more people on, coming back and doing this every week, and we obviously love to hear from everybody too. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. It'll take you 15 seconds. We'll owe you a favour. You can let us know what that favour is at some point. When Matt's walking around, you can ask him for whatever favour that you like, and he'll definitely do it.
No, ask Madge.
If you come up and say, look, we've subscribed and we followed, we'll owe you a favour.
I'll do it.
Thanks, legends. Back to the pod. All right, Matty, we love this one so much. Last time, there were so many that were sent in. We've got a part 2. We're doing running icks.
Running's the trend for us at the moment. Running's the trend in the world, really, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. Yep. And there is so many icky things that are going on, and people need them addressed. And this is why we're here. This is why we do the podcast, is to bring this to everybody's attention and, just make sure everybody's less icky in the world, really. So we're going to kick it off. We had a whole bunch sent on in. We've got Connor. People who wear vests. I've never worn a running vest, but I think he means the vest, with the
water, with the ultra.
Yes.
So that's a different crowd again, right? The vests are, there are little bladders in them. But if you're running, it's a nick for me too. If you're running around, you're in cities and you run along the river, there is drink fountains everywhere.
See, I'm going to semi-disagree. I agree, but I semi-disagree. I reckon around the river, there's not actually that many
Oh, there's
water
enough
fountains.
though. There's enough for.
But you got to know where they are. You got to have run. How long you've been running for? You know where they are, right?
Along East Perth and South Perth, there's one every 2K.
Oh, but you got to know exactly where that is. Like, it's not like
You're not going to die without water for like.
Well, you might.
Hour.
Well, you might. Like, you need.
I can
water.
guarantee these people aren't going out for longer than 90 minutes. You can actually survive. So it's
True. But I see why. I can sympathise. It's a bit of an ick, but I feel like it's almost acceptable if it's like a bigger run, of course. Like, because you need somewhere to put drink bottles and stuff like that.
Or is it just a way to tell somebody you're an ultra runner without telling somebody you're not?
That too.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Next, what have we got?
This is, I don't have who this is sent in from, but
Zach,
people who wear 7-inch shorts. Very specific, Zach. Are you taking... You know your short lengths,
he knows
mate.
his short lengths. He's out there with a ruler. Yeah. And there's the second part to this bit as well. Are people who run with phones in their hands.
Same guy, phone in the hand.
2 icks
From the same guy.
Same
He's
guy.
obviously just gets out there on the path and hates it.
And I would say that the biggest ick for him is bringing those two together. A 7-inch short runner with a phone
We need
in their
to...
hand.
You'll be able to flash this up, but a 7-inch short, it's not the small running shorts. Like they're specific competition shorts. They're like 3-inch.
Yeah, right. And
Tiny.
I feel like I feel like if I've been down Rebel Sport or whatever, 5-inch is like, you know, the ones like the footy short style, right up your ones. So it must be like the mids that are like almost touching
7-inch,
like almost touching the knee.
I guess it's.
So is his?
It's a weird distance.
There's not enough knee being, or not enough lower
Leg?
quad. Yeah, not enough leg. I don't know.
All the brands make them, so
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll have to test that out. We'll have to get some in.
sorry, and then
running with the phone in the hand. Though.
I can't stand it. I'm with him there. It's like if you're that desperate to have your phone in your hand, even if you listen to music, find a pair of shorts or tights. Every brand makes them.
Yep.
Where you have a phone pocket. Okay, if you've got a Plus, just leave the phone at home.
What about this for the iPad that I carry around?
You're not about to tell people what you're doing, but there are companies that make little belts where you can get them and they're like waterproof and the
belts
phone
are
will
good.
fit in them.
Even a bum bag.
It adds to my ick. I can't. If you've got your phone on the bicep,
Do you remember that early on when I was... Oh, no, we weren't coaching by this point.
Right.
I went on a run. It's my first time I ever got 20 Ks, I think, and I didn't know what I was doing. I bought one of them.
of course you did.
Yep, slapped that on. Big ick, right? Shirt off too.
Oh, no. All the icks in one there.
Yeah. Running up like this. And over the 20 Ks, that dug into my arm. I have to show you, as in it was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like it was, I had it for months after. It was like this, like a big band. Yeah, it cut right into me. That'll earn me.
People, you get what you deserve.
Yeah, fair enough. Good icks there. Next one, we've got Jess. When people have their music playing for everyone to hear. Wow, so when they're running through and instead of having the headphones in, they've just got their phone going.
Oh.
And
Speaker.
Yeah. Well, not even, maybe a speaker, but like even just on your phone as you're running.
Depends what it is. It's like...
I vibe that.
We do.
Like, fucking yeah.
On long days, we would do it on the bike because like, when you're riding with a group, you need
to hear.
Just like almost having like white noise.
Yeah.
You just have this music going in the middle of nowhere. So you can still hear traffic comfortably then. But, I mean, if it's a busy place, yeah, sure. It's an odd thing to have.
I think that it's confidence doing, putting your whole...
Whatever you like listening to.
Whatever you like listening to. Because trust me, some of the stuff that I'm listening to when I'm like in the gym ain't stuff that I want all the other people around me like listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear it often. So it's like, she must be running past.
I also just play the same song over and over and over. Oh, yeah, big time. I think it's probably the white noise thing where it's just like, oh, yeah, cool, that's what it is. And you just think it's a bit of like a...
Go with it.
But I guess when you're running past people, they've got no time to hear what the next track is.
Yeah,
so that's okay.
They hear 1 second of it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the fence about that one. I'm on the fence. What do you got?
Yeah, me too. Andrew, my man. If you were here, mate, I would fist pump you right now. People who run with over-ear headphones, I almost need to stand up.
Legends they are. Legends.
I deserve. If they're along the river, push them in. Destroy the headphones and their clothes.
Oh, yeah, no, not an ick for me.
They're doing themselves a disservice and society.
This is. It's not even an ick for you. It's like, it is like the most sensitive nerve on your body. I would say. Actually,
I'll never understand it. You're making it harder for yourself. You're sweating up in the one spot that sweats the most.
How does this almost get brought up almost every
does,
episode? Like almost every
I
episode.
talk about this a
swear.
lot. It makes me hate it more. I even got on the plane the other day and I saw something with them on, which is fine on the plane, and I was getting annoyed. Kim's like, I need some for travel. I was like, no, you don't.
No, you're going to cut the band in the middle over there. You go.
And they're just
You
wobbling
just go up
around.
with scissors and you just go bang. I'll sort that for you. Oh my god. We've got from Ange, people who don't say good morning as you run past
Oh, no,
them.
Ange. Give up. Just relax, Ange.
No, I'm with it here. What I reckon, out of all the when I've either doing the bike or the swim or the run, the runners are the least friendly people.
Only because people, when you're running, a lot of the time, if you're running that little bit too hard, you can only focus on yourself.
Yeah.
So
I get that that's a thing, but is what even I like to do on the bike. When you ride a bike, you just give one of these ones.
Yeah, it is.
Every
Yep.
time.
Just a head nod almost. Yeah.
head nod, bang. You got it. Do that on the running, and you're like, oh yeah. But I've seen people. They're seeing me. Like they're not looking down here. They're looking at me, and I'm giving these ones. But maybe it's because you're bouncing up and down that it's not as in like you're running up and down like this, so it's not as obvious. Or they just don't want to say hello to me, one of the two. But that pisses me off. I'm like, almost stop the run and go, fucking get him. I'm like, would you
At
say good
effort,
morning to
I
me?
understand it, because if someone says good morning to you and you're running quite hard, if you say it back, it'll be like, come on.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It actually sounds
not
terrible.
Not I'm talking just like people just cruising and you
they
just
just get
like,
sick of it, I
And
reckon.
you're just like this.
If that annoys you, go and run somewhere where there's not many. Like I go and run in the trail up in the bush. You see nobody.
But when you do,
I just wave.
you want to hug them.
No, you just both people. Eight.
That one.
Yep,
Yeah.
just a bit of a eight. That's all. Just it's like two hard people out in the middle of nowhere, just acknowledging one another.
Psychopath. Everybody, that's how psychos greet each other.
You
What do
just
you say?
know. Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
with the fingers as well.
the
exactly
weird
like
thing
that?
is when you say,
would.
typically you go morning, because you're running, right? You just flick your hand out. You say morning, but then if it's ticked over midday, you still say morning.
So maybe I reckon maybe
Afternoon
from that
doesn't make sense.
What everybody's doing wrong is if you're going for the head, I reckon the head's too hard to
Just
work
go
out.
the hands.
The hand out the side.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. I'm glad we saw
You've
that.
acknowledged them. That's all they want. I've had people like, oh, good morning would be nice. Yeah, no joke. And it's
Really?
like, oh, wow, just
Gave you
because
this one. Yeah.
I'm running quite hard here. So I give them what for. Last time they came along that footpath.
They were never seen again. They were never seen again. Next, what do we got?
When people run in kicks, so as in Air Jordans,
Yeah.
like you're wearing there,
Oh, yeah.
I don't find that's an ick.
That's just bad.
That's a battle for them.
That just hurts.
You need to go over and tell them you can make running a lot easier if you go and buy some runners.
Yep.
Drop down to your local sports shop and buy just any form of runner will be so much more comfortable and easier to run in.
So after you give them the hello, this one here, and you see that's the follow-up
So
after.
that one, and then go,
By the way, come back here.
call them in.
Next, what do we got to finish this off?
This is an odd one. Car keys in pocket.
Oh, no, I get this.
So
So it's like when you're running next to someone and they've got their car keys.
Yeah.
And because, your pockets aren't like
Right,
strapped to you
right,
and they're
right,
jingling like.
Here's my car key.
Ching.
If you're serious about running, take all the keys off. Just run with your key. They're all, what do we call them now? Keyless these days. Even if you've just got a key to start your car,
That'll do.
just run with that. Put it in the pocket. No ding-a-ling-a-ling.
No ding-a-ling-a-lings. True, that's what I do is I'll take
it off.
I've got a massive. I look like one of those like old school jailers
Yeah,
with
you're
like
probably
how
trying to
my with
break
my
into places.
with
and
my
you've-
key stuff.
Yeah.
I've got so many keys for everything in there. But I'll take exactly right. Take the car key with me. Pop it in my. Not my running belt now, my little pack, my little Under Armour pack from Bali, $5, super cheap, so good. And I'm running along with that. Perfect.
Very
perfect.
good.
I love
Okay.
that. I love
Yeah,
that.
hide that.
Great icks, everybody. Very
Yeah.
good. Keep them coming. Think of any more. See any more icky behaviour.
Take some photos of people if you
yeah,
send them in.
Oh my god! I've just remembered. All right, from the Gym X thing, right?
Yeah.
You know how my thing was the socks with the shoes with the toe cutouts,
Yeah.
and people that carry around the big bags,
Yeah.
and people doing the IFBB
Yeah,
PC,
yeah.
in the mirror. One bloke at the gym. This was last week. He did all three. I have not seen one of those the shoe
Vibrams,
things for a
yep.
while. He did all three. He's there being IFPB, fucking doing these ones. He's got the socks. and he's got the belt, and he's got the chalk, and he's got everything. Oh, that was one big ick.
Deliberately, maybe he set you up.
Maybe it was like I felt
you.
like it was a glitch in the Matrix. It was so like perfectly icky for me. It was unbelievable. But anyway,
flexing, mate.
I'll get a photo of it next time. But everybody, keep sending those icks in. We love them. Legends, thanks so much for listening to the podcast so far. This next little segment is part of our Friday guest episodes that we put just a small little snippet at the end of the episodes here for you to get a little bit of a taste of what's to come. The full episode with our fantastic guest will be out this Friday. Make sure you tune on in, listen, subscribe, like, and I hope you enjoy the little snippet from the episode coming out this week. Talk me through the transition from AFL to triathlon. Was it something that you used to do as a kid or anything? Or is this something that's only just recently been a thing? Or
mate, it's the number one question I get asked, as well as like when people try and ask me to compare it. So, I never did anything of this as a kid. I only played footy, basketball, cricket as a kid. But obviously when you're injured in footy, you've got to do cross training, and I used to swim a lot. Especially having a few quad injuries throughout my time at Essendon. So all I could do was get in the pool and swim. Yeah. Couldn't get on the bike. And then probably later, like second half of my career, the footy club just bought Watt bikes. We had heaps of them in the gym. So started getting an introduction into riding and obviously swimming. I love that. So every off season I would swim a lot. But then I never thought about
it was just something you were doing.
Triathlon. Yeah. No, it was just more cross training with footy, and obviously I was a good runner. So finishing my career, I even didn't know what I wanted to do post that. Like triathlon I finished in October of 21, and I still, at that stage, didn't even think about Ironman or triathlon.